stage. Do you not think so?
Don't involve me, Rory.
And yeah, that's how I think things have evolved. People went out to find more sticks, and eventually, what's that? Mine? It's all good loving. Thank you. And the more sticks you had, maybe, you know, at the end of the day they start building a house or something or whatever, and things were all right, things moved forward. And over time, there was the social system started being built up, and politics and everything, and world leaders and all sorts of things like that. And it was quite good. Yeah. But things were a lot different back then to what they are now. For instance, we had a class system. You had the lower classes, the upper classes, the middle classes. This is today. You got the upper classes, you got the middle classes, you got the working classes, you got the lower classes, and then you've got slow drivers and Tory MPs. That was good. And back then you had sort of the upper classes, the middle classes, the working classes, the lower classes, and then you had people who were destitute, had no money, and then you had people who sat in holes and sang, good for them. And then after that you had the Phil Collins fans. I do actually like Phil Collins, he's alright, it's not too bad. So things moved on.
You're on film.
What's that?
You're on film.
I'm on film. Why are you filming it again? Oh, bloody hell. I want to go. I was booked in for the London Palladium tonight, and I actually decided to do Wells.
Yeah.
That was your decision,
It's about the Wonga.
It's all about the Wonga, people. It's all about the Wonga. You got your class system. People back then, they were into prayer and stuff to survive, praying to keep themselves alive in a sense, just really hoping for things better, there might be a drought or something or whatever. And now people don't really pray, do they? But you could pray for an Xbox or something, But you really you've got to put your details in. You've got to go to a shop and stuff like that, and which is fine. And obviously you could pray for a washing machine, but Argos only take orders over the phone, which is never good. And back then, we're talking hundreds of years. Basically, you could get your head chopped off for I don't know, doing something really silly, and basically that's bad. Don't you think that's quite bad, these days you probably get a warning, but back then you were just killed. Oh, Mikhail. Hey, Mikhail! Hello. How's it going? Not bad, thank you. Yeah.
Joke about yourself.
What's that, Casper?
You jokes about yourself.
Joke about myself now.
Yeah.
You could kind of get, persecuted and stuff, which is pretty bad at times. There was a lot of war and stuff as well, and something I don't really want to go into because war's not so good at the moment. But back then you could start a war, and everyone would be like, yeah, started a war, yeah, well done. you know, should we send a box of Ferrero Rocher or something, you know, to say, yeah, he started the war, you know. But these days we've got rights and we've got, you know, we're trying to have some laws to stop people starting wars and stuff like that. But back then you just kind of had a war and, you know, just got on with it really. And you could have you know, today you can like start a war where just you can press a button and then everyone's nuked. Back then you had to go across the ocean with thousands of troops and start a battle. Basically, like, you know, if you lost the battle, there was no booby prize, you know. You'd have to walk back, you know, really, even if it was hundreds of miles. It wasn't great. So that wasn't great. Yeah. Anyway, is everyone having a good night tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, please. But yeah. So, you know, and like obviously you had like the only way of getting things around back then was like with horses and stuff. Now we've got cars, which is nice. But like if you wanted to get that birthday present from Alfredo, who lives in Algeria, you know, in 200,000 BC or whatever it was, and it didn't show up, you're going to be pretty disappointed, aren't you, really? Let's face it. But these days you can just do it over the internet, you know, which is alright. And yeah, but it's all based around money. It's all based around the Wonga. And back then people didn't have very much. Okay, you know, these days we've got like mobile phones, washing machines, Wonga. What else? What else have we got? Fingers. Right, okay. Chocolate fingers, Cadbury's chocolate fingers. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, sport was another thing back then. You like, obviously, like you got like, you know, like sport wasn't really sport, was it? It was like gladiators and stuff. Like, and you could get killed. These days, in football, it looks like they've been killed, but I don't think they have. I think they'll get up and get on with it like everyone else. For me, football should be a little bit more like it was 40, 50 years ago, and just get on with it, you know. But that's my opinion. So yeah, life was hard back then. Life was hard back then. You know, you could be a chimney sweep, and that wasn't much fun. You get covered in soot. You have to work with your boss all day long, and it wasn't much fun really. Today, you know, you've got to watch Big Brother. You might be forced to watch Big Brother or Love Island for maybe 4-5 hours, and that's always bad for people. Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anyone? Would anyone like to say anything about you know, anything? Toblerone, right? Okay, Toblerone. All right. Yeah, they didn't even have Toblerone 5,000 years ago, but they had stonings. Stonings, yeah, and they were fun. Oh my god, they were fun. You know, you could chop someone's arm off in a war or something. There's a big contradiction, really. And then the next day go to a stoning. You know, to kind of like, oh, I went to a stoning, but I did kind of chop someone's arm off as well, which was kind of bad. So a big contradiction there. So yeah, great, groovy. And yeah, I mean, it's just nice to be here.
What about South Africa winning the World Cup?
South Africa winning the World Cup.
How did they do that?
I think they did it with magic torches. That's how they did it. Is that right? Yeah. I think personally, if you're going to play rugby, then you've got to be nuts, really, because you're going to get. If I played rugby, I would get completely absolutely knocked out straight away. That's due to the fact I don't play rugby. Okay, well, it's nice talking to you guys, as always, and I've had a little bit of a chat about stuff, and I will let the music continue, and bless Palestine and everything out there, because I want all that to stop, and Ukraine. I think it's terrible. God save the Queen, said the Sex Pistols. Okay, right, cheers. Thank you, bye.